American Library Association Interpretation of the Library Bill of Rights. We are on education, information, and literacy. Everyone have the right to receive the information with all of the viewpoints, being able to do so without barriers, able to call to the intellectual freedom of the education, information, and literacy with the foundation of intellectual freedom, all of the care of the part of the library mission. Library supports the mission providing access to the information, ideas, with the resource, and serve the library sheets of the people, how the reserve of the resources of the education of the programs. 1948 with the United Nations show the importance of the intellectual freedom of the education, Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. These principles align with the American Library Association and the Library Bill of Rights. Both the documents stress the importance of the intellectual freedom in Article 22 with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to highlight the essential role of the education of the developing intellectual freedom. Everyone have the right to education. Education shall be free at least for the least elementary on the fundamental stage of the education of the direct of the full development of human personality, of the strength of the end of the respect for the human rights of the fundamental freedoms, shall promote understanding of the tolerance of the friendship among all of the nations, racial and religious groups, shall further activity of the United Nations for the maintenance of the peace. The Library Bill of Rights affirms all of the libraries of the forms of information ID with the library, foster the education, spread with the curiosity, support the learning, expand with the principles of the intellectual freedom. Article 1 and 2 of the Library Bill of Rights show with the need of the action of the information with the many of the viewpoints. The library shall provide with a variety of the resources allow with the user of the evaluate the content and contents. Article 1 about some of the other libraries shall provide with the interest of the information and enlightenment of all of the public of the community with the library shall with the materials shall not be show with the because of the origin, background of the view of the contributing with their creation. Article 2 the library shall provide with the material of the information presenting all of the points of the view of the current with the historical of the issue with the material should not be discovered or removed from other parts of the doctoral and per disapproval. Library works to promote lifelong learning with encouraging free expression on the support and the exchange of the ideas among the youth of the library, youth of the research of the programs, with the strength of the access to the information and the use of the bills of the fundamental foundation of the intellectual freedom of the educator with the library work with the nature of the intellectual freedom by the development collection services with the representative of the many with the viewpoints and power of the people to explore broadly, with the program and the many with the form and support of the different type of the learning with the leading with the instruction of the information literacy with the critical thinking with the building skill with the need with the identify with the false misleading information. I would give the diverse voice of the youth in the library to explore with the contested concept with the library provide with the educational stuff to help the people to explore with the idea with the discover the new perspective, find access to evaluate information, understand the information presented with any of the different form of developing throughout the inclusion and express their own new idea with it. By offering these services, the libraries make with the information of access to highlight important public to be able to think of learning free, but they also show the crucial of the libraries helping people to in their community to learn and grow. And that was Educational Information Literacy Interpretation of the Library Bill of Rights.